Imagine an elite, highly trained sniper, deeply in hostile enemy territory, completely surrounded and meticulously aiming at his designated target, while patiently waiting for the perfect, opportune moment to execute his shot. And while all this is happening, his physiological pulse is remarkably at a mere 40 beats per minute, and his analytical mind is crystal clear and entirely focused. He remains in a profound state of total, unwavering calm and absolute control. Even though he is under one of the most extreme pressures a human being can endure. Now think about yourself reading an annoying email at the office or arguing with your partner over something trivial. Your pulse jumps to 90, your hands sweat, and your stomach ties itself in knots. Your mind becomes cloudy. You might even find yourself unable to find the words. Why? He stays calm in the face of death? And do you find yourself panicking in what would typically be considered an everyday, ordinary situation? The difference isn't that he's braver. The difference is purely biological. He has trained himself to control an internal switch that you probably don't even know exists, and yet you have it at your disposal. That switch is the boss. It's the one that decides whether your body goes into defense mode, burning through your reserves and aging you, or into repair mode, healing tissues and extending your life. Well, today I'm going to tell you about that switch. And it's a physical wire that runs throughout your entire body. It's also truly the very best kept secret for your overall longevity and well-being. And today, you're going to learn precisely why it's actually the ultimate boss of your entire health system. So please forget absolutely everything you might think you currently know about the true nature of stress, because quite frankly, we've all been consistently sold the pervasive idea that stress is merely just an uncomfortable, fleeting feeling, something that simply comes along with the demands of the job. But no, that's actually and fundamentally not the accurate case at all. Stress is literally an invisible acid that burns your DNA and shortens your telomeres. It's the number one enemy of your longevity, as we've already discussed. And if you've been in that battle, feeling that knot in your stomach, that insomnia that doesn't let you rest even after 8 hours of sleep, or the anxiety, the kind that always pushes you to think about a future that, as its name suggests, hasn't even arrived yet. If you're there, or if you've been there, your body, what it's doing is screaming one thing at you. We're in danger. And the question that comes up isn't, how do I get rid of stress? No. The real question, the biological question that can change your life today is, how do I tell my body that the war is over? Up until now, I've talked to you about the key. That is your internal dialogue with yourself. Today I'm going to show you the lock. Well, it's a crucial nerve that most people unfortunately tend to ignore. But if you truly learn to effectively use it, if you manage to successfully give it the precise command, you will undoubtedly possess the remarkable power to completely turn off inflammation. Chronic inflammation, to truly calm your mind, and, quite literally, to significantly extend the precious time your individual cells are willing to live their full lifespan. It's the biological wire, the mechanism that decides whether your body, as I mentioned before, goes into defense mode or repair mode. And this isn't cheap philosophy, it's truly profound neuroscience. So let me introduce you to the remarkable vagus nerve, which is a crucial part of our fascinating anatomy. And today you're also going to learn how to master it. And to understand what I'm telling you, think of your body as if it were a smart home, a state-of-the-art house, and your brain as the command center, the central computer. So how does that central computer communicate with the engine of the house, that is, with the heart? Or with the boiler, the intestine? or with the emergency lights? The immune system. Well, it needs wiring, and that wiring is the vagus nerve. They call it the 10th cranial pair, meaning it's one of the 12 main nerves that come directly out of the brain. But the truth is that simply calling it a nerve is actually selling it quite short, because it's much more than just a wire. It's a long and complex two-way communication highway that covers your entire body. It originates in the brainstem, goes down through the neck, and passes through your chest, touching the heart and lungs, and it reaches the stomach and intestines, wrapping around them deep within your abdomen. And here's a fact that changes everything. I'm going to explain the most truly surprising and utterly fascinating part of its crucial job, and I genuinely want you to really understand and fully absorb this vital information. A remarkable 80% of the delicate fibers in the extensive vagus nerve are primarily sensory, and you might reasonably ask yourself, what exactly does that profound statement truly mean to us? Well, it means that 80% of the information travels from the bottom up, from your body to your brain. In other words, your gut and your heart are not slaves to your brain. In fact, what they do is constantly inform your brain. They're like informants, constantly telling your brain second by second what the situation is down there. They tell it, we're safe, everything is fine, or they say, red alert, there's danger. And that's why when you have a gut feeling or feel a knot in your stomach, it's not just a poetic metaphor. It's actually your vagus nerve sending an emergency report to your brain before you're even aware of what's happening. Listening to your body is biology, not magic. And in fact, when older people tell you or used to tell you to listen to your body, they're applying pure biology without even realizing it. This vagus nerve has an official title. It's the boss of your parasympathetic nervous system. And you might ask me, what is this system with such a curious name, parasympathetic? Well, in science, it's called the rest and digest system. Rest and digest. When the vagus nerve is active and in charge, wonderful things happen in your body. The heart beats slowly and rhythmically. Digestion flows smoothly, and there are no inflammations or bloating. And most importantly, your body focuses on what truly matters for longevity: repair. Do you remember the telomeres from the previous series? Or do you remember when I told you about that enzyme called telomerase that lengthens them and rejuvenates you? Well, that enzyme telomerase is shy. It only works when the environment around it is safe, and the vagus nerve is responsible for creating that safe environment. Without an active vagus nerve, there is no cellular repair. Telomerase remains inactive. It's that simple. And also that important, of course. But anyway, don't think that all of this is as easy as it seems now that I'm explaining it to you, because it sounds very simple and like everything works like clockwork. The reality is that it has its difficulties. It works like clockwork, yes, but it has its difficulties. And now comes the catch. That is, I'm going to talk to you about the problem that makes us all sick. For many decades, medical science and practitioners thought that the concept of stress was just a simple, straightforward binary light switch, either completely on or entirely off. You were either in fight or flight mode, that is, working with the sympathetic nervous system, or alternatively, you were in a state of calm mode, which is to say, actively working with the parasympathetic nervous system, a clear-cut distinction, often perceived as simply black or white. However, in the 1990s, a truly brilliant and insightful scientist named Stephen Porges completely revolutionized our understanding of all of this. He profoundly realized that human beings are indeed far too intricate and complex to be adequately explained by such a simplistic on-off switch or a binary system. Porges studied all these various human physiological reactions and subsequently created the comprehensive polyvagal theory, often referred to as PVT. We could truly say that he established one of the most important and profoundly revolutionary foundations for understanding the complex connection between our biology, our emotions, and our deeply interconnected social relationships. It's something like the new evolving paradigm of stress and safety, and he also introduced a significant new concept, Neuroception, which is a fascinating and crucial idea. We'll talk about this in more detail later on, but to explain it quite simply, and as we will thoroughly analyze it, it's essentially the unconscious and automatic way in which our intricate nervous system constantly scans the external environment around us and also the internal workings and sensations within our own body. And please notice that I specifically said unconsciously because in fact what it truly conducts is a purely fundamentally biological assessment of the situation. It's not something neurological, it's biological. And from biology, it explains the relationship between body and mind. All of this, as you can surely and profoundly understand, especially if you have had the invaluable opportunity and the distinct chance to watch the comprehensive and insightful videos from the previous illuminating series about the crucial longevity code, once again directly and unequivocally connects optimal health, peak performance, and extended longevity in a truly meaningful way. With that explained, let's move on now. Let's go a little deeper into the details. Porges taught us that your security system, and mine too, of course, has 3 levels. There are 3 hierarchical alarms that your brain activates depending on the degree of danger or threat it perceives. First, a security system, then an alarm system, and third, a collapse system. These 3 distinct levels are now from the most evolved to the most ancient. The first is the security system, or Ventral Vagal system. This one allows us to connect and feel safe. The second is the alarm system, the Sympathetic system. This is the one that prepares us for action, to fight or flee. And the third is the collapse system, the Dorsal Vagal system. This is the one that disconnects us, shuts us down, and also makes us feel exhausted. Well then, now let me try to explain how they work with an example. Imagine you're in the middle of the African savannah 50,000 years ago. And of course, you have to survive. Your body will use these 3 levels to decide how to react. And now we're not going to go in chronological order so you can follow me better. So suddenly, in the middle of that savannah, you face a threat you think you can handle. You see a lion in the distance and you think you can outrun it. What happens then? Your sympathetic system switches on. It's the short fuse. Cortisol and adrenaline, powerful stress hormones, flood your bloodstream, causing your heart rate to dramatically skyrocket. Digestion, of course, completely stops, because if you are truly about to be consumed, you absolutely do not need to be expending energy on digesting food. It's a fundamental and simple survival mechanism. Your muscles then tense up significantly, and your entire system shifts into a heightened state of mobilization mode, preparing you for immediate action. And all of this, of course, is useful and necessary, because in the next 5 minutes, you have to save your life. Once you've vividly pictured this entire scene in your mind, now let's take a moment to reflect together, shall we? What is really the modern tragedy? Your body and mind, which are inherently primitive, simply can't truly tell the difference between a truly hungry, dangerous lion and an urgent, demanding email. It can't distinguish a physical attack from a guilty thought, an external criticism, or an emotional threat. It just can't tell the difference. And if you live in fear of the future, for example, with the chronic feeling that it's never, ever enough, or that you won't make it in time, or that everything is going to go wrong, Your entire body will continuously keep the primal lion alarm system switched on, operating 24 hours a day, every single day. In other words, you will literally be burning up from the inside out. You'll remain almost constantly in a heightened defensive mode, a state which will inevitably lead to persistent and chronic inflammation throughout your system, which, as we've clearly seen in our previous videos, ends up burning away and consuming your precious telomeres. This entire complex situation that I have just meticulously described is precisely what Stephen Porges thoughtfully refers to as level 2, which he aptly terms the fire alarm response. This in essence represents the activation of the sympathetic nervous system. But let's not stop here, because there's a situation that's even worse. If the perceived threat is so profoundly great that your brain definitively decides you simply won't be able to successfully win, or perhaps because it genuinely can't identify any viable way to effectively fight back or any plausible way to swiftly flee. And it is absolutely crucial to pay very close attention here, because I am specifically referring to the profound impact of deep-seated trauma to a truly devastating and significant loss, or to a problem that you believe you won't be able to solve. So what happens then? The body pulls the emergency brake, which is the dorsal vagal, and that is truly its most radical and desperate escape plan. This is what's called the immobilization mode, freeze, and it's what happens to the gazelle when the lion already has it in its jaws. It plays completely dead. It effectively shuts down so that it doesn't feel any pain at all. In humans, this profound state is often interpreted as a deep and pervasive depression, a debilitating chronic exhaustion, and a profound sense of dissociation. In other words, an unsettling feeling as if you're not truly inside your own physical body. This particular mode is recognized as the oldest and most primitive survival mechanism. It is also, unequivocally, the most dangerous for long-term longevity, because in this critical state, your body's essential repair system becomes completely, utterly, and entirely disconnected. But not only do you experience this profound disconnection, the situation actually gets even worse. Your entire biological system fundamentally shifts into a state of extreme and accelerated wear and tear, leading to significant cellular damage and systemic decline, with no ability to repair. Stephen Porges specifically called this particular level 3 a profound disconnection alarm, which he termed central vagal. Well, I've just introduced you to level 2. And now let's move on to level 1. This is precisely where Stephen Porges generously gives us profound hope and the essential key to achieving long-term longevity. Significantly above these other two previously identified alarm systems, which were the primal responses of fire and disconnection, is the truly supreme and optimal state, specifically level 1, which is known as the ventral vagal system. This is indeed the remarkable social engagement system, the intricate safety system, truly the shining jewel of human evolution, the most profoundly evolved system, the sophisticated circuit that powerfully connects your beating heart with the expressive muscles of your face, your acute hearing, and your resonant voice. When your vagal nerve is active, subtle but powerful things happen. Your face relaxes and shows expression. Your voice has melody, which is what is called prosody. In other words, it is not a monotone voice. You can hear the human voice above the noise and above environments where there is no ability to feel good or comfortable. And fundamentally, best of all, you feel safe. It's a truly remarkable state that allows you to be wonderfully calm, to deeply connect with others, to genuinely love, and to attentively listen. And in this profoundly peaceful state, the ventral vagal system is the crucial switch that effectively turns off the cortisol alarm, that urgent stress response. And that's precisely when your entire immune system receives the clear and unequivocal order: this is a false alarm, stand down. There's no more war. Lay down your arms. Start rebuilding. The ventral vagal state is the only state in which your body regenerates tissues, eliminates toxins, and lengthens telomeres. If you remember the famous blue zones where people live over 100 years, Sardinia, Okinawa, Ikaria in Greece, what is the common factor? It's not just what they eat, it's what they call the moai, the tribe, the constant social connection. They live surrounded by family and friends. They laugh, they touch each other, they look into each other's eyes. They live in a state of chronic ventral vagal activation. Their culture is their medicine. They don't need an anti-stress pill. Their way of living is designed to neuroperceive safety. They don't need to make an effort to calm themselves. Their environment is constantly shouting at them, "You are safe, you are one of us, you are part of our family, of our team." And it is here, in this, where the science of the vagus nerve speaks to you directly. To you. If they have an environment that gives them safety, you who live in this modern world, surrounded by rush, screens, and pressures, what do you have? What do you think you should do? Simple, yet profoundly challenging. Begin to diligently cultivate that essential sense of inherent safety deep within yourself and truly foster it from the very core of your being, from the inside out. And this crucial concept I am suggesting you actively embrace and implement brings us directly back to the most intricate and delicate point of all, neuroception. That rather unusual and perhaps unfamiliar word, no doubt, but it is a fundamental concept that, without you consciously knowing or fully realizing it until this very day, profoundly defines and shapes your entire life and experiences. Neuroception is your brain's intricate surveillance system. Truly a great teacher, but it can also be the great trickster, and I will explain precisely why. Your physical body is innocent. Your body is loyal. It genuinely doesn't know what's truly factual or what's entirely false, and what it does is blindly react to the comprehensive story you consistently tell it. It also doesn't know if the past is over or if the past is still alive. If you hold onto a resentment from 10 years ago, your brain neuroceives. The enemy is still here, right in front of me. And what does it do? Boom. It activates the fire, that is, the sympathetic nervous system. Or if you look at yourself in the mirror and speak to yourself with contempt, with self-criticism, your brain neuroceives the attack. It comes from within. I have the enemy inside, and the same thing happens. Boom, it activates the fire. The sympathetic nervous system, your mind, in a matter of milliseconds, can send a false alarm signal that will release cortisol, raise your blood pressure, and damage your telomeres as if you were being chased. That lion I was talking about a moment ago. But the truly good news, which by the way is monumentally, incredibly good news indeed, is that if your incredibly powerful mind can effectively turn on the alarm, then your very same mind also possesses the remarkable power and the ability to effectively turn it completely off. How does it do that? By consciously activating that vagal, ventral. And how do you do that? Well, you absolutely have to give your brain undeniable, concrete, physical, and truly real proof that you are completely safe and secure right now, in this very moment. That undeniable and irrefutable proof has a specific scientific name. It's officially called vagal tone, and it's the crucial metric that precisely measures your overall biological resilience. It represents the inherent capacity of your physiological brakes, and it is truly the master key to unlocking good health and achieving long-lasting longevity throughout your life. Well, now that you know all of this important information, I'm going to tell you something that is quite significant, something you probably haven't fully realized up until now. A profound new biological responsibility has just been born within you. This is truly new and transformative. You can no longer simply say that stress is an inevitable part of life. Now you understand that your overall longevity and well-being are, to a very great extent, directly linked to the quality of the ongoing conversation you have with your vital vagus nerve. And the crucial secret is not to completely stop feeling stress or to entirely avoid having problems, because that in reality is utterly impossible. Life is inherently full of challenges and difficulties. Life consistently brings one problem after another, often unexpectedly. The true secret, therefore, is to effectively manage your vagal tone, that is, to enhance the remarkable speed and overall effectiveness with which your entire physiological system naturally returns to a state of calm and equilibrium after experiencing any significant blow or stressful event. And the ultimate goal, obviously, is to return home quickly, to return swiftly to the central vagal state, to the foundational level 1, that essential safety system described by the renowned Stephen Porges in his groundbreaking Polyvagal Theory, which offers profound insights into our physiological and emotional states. By the way, the term ventral actually comes from belly, meaning the front, anterior part of our body, which is inherently soft and quite vulnerable. Remember, it's the crucial area you instinctively protect when you're afraid, and the very area you willingly expose to give a warm hug or to truly connect when you feel safe and secure. Using the important terms and concepts we've thoroughly learned and discussed today, it truly doesn't matter at all how incredibly hard the blow is. What genuinely matters is how very quickly and effectively you recover your essential vagal tone and once again bravely expose your vulnerable belly to the challenges of life without any lingering fear whatsoever. And I'm not going to give you 5 complicated rules right now. What I am going to do is suggest 2 very small yet impactful decisions that you could genuinely start applying today, right now, in this very moment. When you finish listening to this entire video and have fully absorbed its content, here is a crucial first question for you to consider. What specific actions can you consciously take today to effectively communicate to your calm and relaxed body that there is absolutely no dangerous lion lurking around? Maybe it's about stopping the endless replay of that argument from yesterday so your body can finally let its guard down. Or perhaps it's truly about forgiving a past mistake, simply to effectively stop adding more unnecessary fuel to the burning fire of your personal stress. Forgive that mistake. Second question, what truly small and meaningful gesture of affection can you genuinely offer today that will help you feel more deeply connected? For instance, will you lovingly look your child directly in the eyes? Your partner or a friend, and truly listen to them without checking your phone? Will you consciously and deliberately change the tone of your inner voice when you talk to yourself, to treat yourself with more kindness and gentleness, perhaps even with a touch of compassion? These crucial decisions, which may initially seem quite small or even entirely invisible, keep in mind that absolutely every single time you consciously make one, every single time you deliberately choose one of them, you are actively moving from a state of conflict towards genuine healing. And what I am suggesting here in this particular context is truly meant to become, for you personally, the very beginning of a comprehensive and effective training regimen for your vagus nerve, and also, simultaneously, a truly significant and monumental step forward on the essential path toward achieving much better and more genuinely sustained longevity and overall well-being. Think of it this way. Every time you choose to do one of these things, you are turning down the switch. And in the next video, I'll give you something wonderful, the secret antidote. I will teach you 5 very easy physical tricks using your breath, cold water, and even the vibration of your own voice, so you can learn to activate that switch at will. In this way, you can turn off inflammation and protect your longevity. In other words, they will help you activate vagal tone in a mechanical way. Keep in mind that your body is listening to you and is listening to you right now. just make sure to tell it a story of calm. I'll read your comments and see you in the next video. And in the meantime, keep moving forward, always forward.